Hey guys, what's going on? It's Alex from Fitment Industries, and today we're going to be talking to you about 5 things that you may not have known about KW suspensions. So it's early in the morning, I have my coffee, I hope you don't mind, but we're going to get started right away. But first things, before we get started with all of the information, be sure to hit subscribe because we're trying to get to 50,000 subs. That's the whole sales pitch. I know how much you guys love hearing that, but please just hit the button. Anyway, going into number 1. KW suspension started out as KW Tuning, and they were founded in 1992 with 3 employees and a 225 square foot facility in Germany. Now, they really weren't planning on getting into coils. That wasn't later until the business decided that they wanted to get into suspension. KW just started with tuning products and different components that they could sell to different wholesalers and enthusiasts that wanted to get their products. They survived off that for 3 years until 1995 when KW essentially created their first ever coilover system called the KW Coilover. The second thing that you may not know about KW suspension is KW suspension is actually the reason that the dub phase got into winged doors. Now, you're probably thinking about Lamborghini doors and all that sort of stuff, and if you played Midnight Club 3 back when you were younger, you probably know what I'm talking about. Dub was a huge name back in the early 2000s, and KW was one of the biggest partners of that phase, especially with their winged doors. LSD Doors is a company that is umbrellaed under the KW suspension brand, and KW was the company that spearheaded that entire design and product through SEMA into the United States, and from there it just essentially took off. Now, there are other companies that have been in the wing door business for quite a long time, but LSD Doors was the one that spearheaded it in the early 2000s, and it's the reason that we all kind of make fun of it now, but back in the day it was pretty cool. So the third thing you may not know about KW suspension is they own one of 15 post-drive suspension component products that allows you to test suspension pieces without actually having the product be on a car. What does that really mean? Well, it means that KW is able to get precise measurements, exact measurements of what they need using computers and systems right there real time versus having to install it all on a car, drive it out and test it, and then kind of make adjustments as needed depending on the driver that's using the vehicle. Where are the other 14, you may be wondering? Well, that's simple. They're being used by the Formula 1 racing teams and the high performance driving teams that also need these huge systems to dial in their suspension for their racetrack events and all that sort of good stuff. So KW uses it for commercial use, so that what that allows them to do is it gets precise measurements the first time, and you don't have to worry about anything really being off because every single product that KW sells goes through that exact system. So the fourth thing that you may not know about KW suspension is a lot of people associate their products with only being applied and used for German applications, and it's not really true. You can get it for your Audi, your Mercedes, your Volkswagen, all that sort of stuff, but they also make applications for domestic processes too, like the Ford Mustang, the Corvette, and other things like that. In fact, KW suspension is partnered with some domestic auto manufacturers. The Dodge Viper ACR is tuned with KW suspension, and that's the same thing for the Roush Mustang. KW suspension partnered on with Roush to make their suspension possible. So it's interesting to see that if you're looking to get something that's a high quality coilover and you have a domestic vehicle, it doesn't necessarily mean that you got to stay with a domestic company. KW suspension does an amazing job with their applications for domestic cars. And the fifth and final thing that you may not know about KW suspension is just the amount of different options that you have when it comes down to buying coilovers. So if you're looking to get something that's just a basic, good coilover that's going to get the job done, KW suspension has a V1 coilover. If you're looking to get something maybe a little bit fancier with a little bit more customization, KW also offers the same exact coilover system but called a V2. That just gives it more customization. Finally, if you're looking to spend a little bit more, KW also has a V3 component that allows you to adjust dampening, gets really into the specifics of different viscosities for the oils and all that sort of stuff that you can use for specific coilover kits if it comes for your vehicle. And then finally, they also have a V4 KW coilover kit, which is essentially about as sophisticated and as advanced as you could possibly want it, so you can dial in your suspension perfectly for the track, or if you just have a lot of money. So that's 5 things that you may not have known about KW suspension. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a comment on what you'd like to see next, or if you just want me to talk about something. But I'm Alex from Fitment Industries. We'll see you later. Peace.